feel so blessed and humbled sitting in front of you. But I thank you for this invitation. I would like to start by sharing with you the story of Warren. Warren is a 9-year-old boy afflicted with cerebral palsy. His immediate family and relatives lives in a cramped space by the dump site in Payatas, Quezon City. A 54 square foot of living space converts into a dining area and later into sleeping quarters when night falls, some of which don't even have comfort rooms. This is typical in the slums, and Warren is living under these same circumstances. A few months ago, Warren and his parents moved into their new house in Bagong Silangan, also in Quezon City. The Vincentian Foundation especially built houses for them and several other poor families who have children with special needs. Having a new house, one that they can truly call their own home, had been a source of joy, excitement, and definitely peace and contentment to poor urban dwellers like Warren and his parents. It has given them hope and a better perspective in life. Slum dwellers belong to the marginalized sector of Philippine society that I got so used to seeing every day in Metro Manila. So used to seeing them that I became indifferent to their plight. I even got to the point of blaming them for their sorry situation. I have totally forgotten that they are victims of circumstances beyond their control. They are the people who need most help, my time, my resources, and the very gift of my person. I had an awakening when the congregation assigned me to the Vincentian Foundation, whose main ministry is to help homeless people through land acquisition and home development. It was in this assignment they started to have a deeper knowledge of slum dwellers and homelessness in general. Just recently, the Association of Major Religious Men Superiors in the Philippines invited me to talk about homelessness during their annual convention. In the course of my study, I came across these very important but extremely alarming data. An estimated 100 million people are homeless worldwide. As many as 1.6 billion people lack adequate housing. Letter B, the Philippines' capital Manila has the largest homeless population among the cities in the world, 3.1 million. An estimated 1.2 million children and more than 70,000 rumbles in Manila. Letter C. Initial figures gathered by the Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council showed the number of informal settler families rose from 1.5 million in 2011 to 2.2 million in 2015. Another info, the government needs to build at least 2,602 units of socialized housing a day to address the 5.7 million backlogs in the next 6 years. This is one of the row houses that we built in Quezon City. What is a slum dwelling then? Who are the slum dwellers? From a very personal perspective, that is in terms of relationship, they are the people I seldom personally encounter and spend very little time with. Yet I see them all over the place, everywhere I go in the Philippines. From another perspective, slum dwellings are places where a high concentration of people with all kinds of social issues are oftentimes left unaddressed. It is in these places where we see many poor, single parents, women, poor with special needs, malnourished children, elderly, and broken marriages. In these same places, we see rampant use of illegal drugs, high incidence of illegal gambling, prostitution, human trafficking, and different kinds of illegal activities. Here we see a great number of poor people deprived of their basic rights and necessities such as food, clothing, shelter, health, and education. They have difficulty nor have access at all to government financial and social services and the society in general. They are also the people who are engaged in an underground economy, but whose contribution to society, economy, and ecology remains unrecognized. Society sees them as a problem. That is why, in almost all urban development projects, they are not part of a space allocation in planning and utilization. They are brought to the peripheries to give way to urban development. Unfortunately, the reality of slum dwellers or homelessness, to my mind, is one of the most painful manifestations of our biggest crime against humanity. Where are they? Slum dwellers are everywhere, especially in the fringes, geographical, economic, social, etc. of society. We see them every day in almost all places we never imagined habitable, like in foot of dump sites, under bridges, sidewalks, waiting sheds, vacant lots, abandoned buildings, steel houses, pushcarts, etc. Name it, you find them. What does helping slum dwellers look like? My 7 years of helping the homeless and other vulnerable sectors of Philippine society made me realize that the number of slum dwellers keeps on increasing by the day. I feel that what we have done so far is just a seed we planted, just hoping that one day will bear fruit. In the long history of the Vincentian Foundation, we have successfully purchased pieces of lands and constructed houses for families displaced by man-made and natural calamities in the different parts of the country through savings mobilization. The following are some significant points on what it means to help slum dwellers. Letter A. This specific ministry is extremely challenging and demanding. St. Vincent described them as terribly sensitive and exacting masters you will see. It takes a Herculean effort to help them and to engage different stakeholders to be part of this advocacy. The journey with them is long, challenging, but undoubtedly fulfilling. We need all the resources and approaches to help them, like enabling laws, finances, technical knowledges, social network, and community development. Organizing knowledges and services, developing social skills, and emotional quotient are likewise imperative, especially in empowering them to take an active role in charting their destiny. It is equally important that slum dwellers themselves know how to engage different sectors and stakeholders. There is no single solution in addressing to this social concern, nor does it have a single framework of looking at it. It is multifaceted and very complex that needs multidimensional, multi-level, and multi-approach. An integral way of dealing and approaching this call is a must. Local and international connectivity is another important component so that slum dwelling not only becomes a national concern, but also as a global effort that needs to be addressed as the Vincentian family had already articulated and started. This is a picture together with the executives of the Hilti Company and Hilti Foundation, because they were the ones that developed bamboo technology. We borrowed that technology from Colombia. And the one that started this technology is a German engineer. Praise the Lord. We need to adopt the experiential method of learning to inspire and encourage them to take responsibility in charting their own future. We are simply facilitators. This can be done by establishing learning hubs, wherein we and our partner communities can learn from best practices of a particular community or country. The academe should engage the youth and in the immediate and long-term solution. This one is the picture we had together with the indigenous people in the southern part of the Philippines. And this one when we had a dialogue with the different deans and administrators at Adamson University. And then this one is together with an architect doing the design for the village that we hope to construct starting next year. So we need to engage the academe. This one is also in Osamis, and this one is also the newly purchased lot that we bought in Mindanao. So it's a 3-hectare property for 70 to 90 people that we hope to start building by next year. There is a need to employ enabling acts of love through different self-help projects and activities, giving them some space to find solutions to make their conditions better and their community more caring and resilient is worth all the effort. I have been a priest for almost 23 years now, fortunately still single. And I have been involved in the varied ministries of the Philippine province. I have worked in a very remote island parish in the southern Philippines, in seminary formation, in our theology seminary, and administrator of Adamson University, of our school in the Philippines. But nothing has ever prepared me for this ministry of being the executive director of the Vincentian Foundation. This role paved the way for me to work not only for homeless, but also with other sectors like children with special needs, malnourished children, elderly, homeless, and indigenous people. It is definitely the most challenging and stressful assignment in my 23 years as a priest, put together. It has demanded to bring out the best in me and all my other inner reserves, especially my faith and my convictions. With this role, I am able to meaningfully relate with what St. Vincent said, that you must love God with the sweat of your brows and the strength of your arms. However, the extreme difficulty was also compensated by an equally fulfilling and meaningful experience. I learned so many things in life and made me appreciate my Vincentian vocation. The poor are, in fact, is the reason why I decided to become a Vincentian missionary priest in the first place. Indeed, the poor have so much to teach you. You have so much to learn from them, as our Holy Founder said. In its deepest spiritual meaning, the poor have really become my evangelizers. Working with them is in reality a pilgrimage, a spiritual journey where I continuously find God along the way. It is a very humbling realization that I have never been an evangelizer of the poor. Instead, they are and they continue to be my evangelizers. Our ministry to the slum dwellers definitely poses a great challenge to all of us. We have to think outside of the box and get out of our comfort zones. However, it offers endless opportunities for us to be present to the poor, to become the Jesuses to our masters. It is a once-in-a-lifetime privilege. Above all, our personal and organizational renewal can best happen in the context of our being present for the poor, especially the slum dwellers. Serving them is absolutely a big challenge, but in a way we have no choice but to serve them in the best of our ability. It is our vocation, and they are our masters. They deserve nothing but the best from us. It is in giving our gold, our treasures, that I realized that the poor people themselves are our truest gold, our treasures. I found God in them. I think it is mission impossible, because love is inventive even unto infinity. Thank you.